How's it going, everybody? My name is LuckyBunz. In today's video, we're going to be going over the best tips and tricks to get you guys ready for the Ancients Recovered event in Pokemon GO. We have a lot to get through, so let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Okay, so first of all, this event is going to be taking place from June 23rd at 10 AM to June 27th at 8 PM local time. Now, additionally on top of that, a lot of the bonuses that we're going to have during this event are also going to extend up until the end of the weekend on June 29th, which is also going to be the end of Pokemon Go Fest Global. So throughout this video, make sure to pay attention to the exact dates, and if you have any additional questions on stuff that you might have been confused about, just let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, so now let's get into the bonuses. To start things off, let's go over the remote raid pass limit being increased from 20 to 30. Now, specifically, this is only going to be from Monday to Thursday, and then over the weekend from Friday to Sunday, there's not going to be a limit on remote raid passes. We're also going to get guaranteed extra large candy from trading Pokemon if you're level 31 or higher, a fantastic bonus that we had last season in Pokemon Go. And so up until the end of Sunday on the 29th, we're going to have this bonus. So from the 23rd to the 29th, this will be active, which means every single day as you guys are catching Pokemon, make sure to do your daily trade so you guys can free up more Pokemon storage for GoFest. Now on top of that, we're also going to get a chance to get special backgrounds on the featured legendary Pokemon in raid battles, and I actually do think the backgrounds look pretty nice this time around. The Reggie backgrounds are actually a great nod to the main series games, and Zacian and Zamazenta look pretty cool as well. Now following that, we're also going to have a global challenge starting at the beginning of this event, and once this is actually completed, we're going to get an increased catch rate with Premier Balls on all legendary Pokemon, and Party Power is going to charge faster, which means if you're using Party Power bonuses during raid battles, it's going to be even easier to take down the raid bosses. We are most likely going to see these bonuses go into effect about a few days into the event, I'd have to imagine. It could even be as soon as the first day, I just really have no idea what that challenge is supposed to be. But overall, this is going to be a great quality of life update throughout this event, and then also during GoFest, because during the Unova Tour, they did not do this, and they kept the catch rates at the same rate that they had them normally, and honestly, it took way too long. Actually, I would even say that the catch rates were worse during Unova Tour for some reason, because it took so long to catch every single legendary Pokemon. I cannot tell you how frustrating that was. So honestly, massive win to the team over at Pokemon Go, because this was a change that definitely needed to happen for a big event like this. Next up, let's talk about the free timed research quest that's going to be available during this event. It's pretty similar to all the other lead up events that we've had for like major events in Pokemon Go. So basically what I mean by that is that you just have to complete one raid to get the first encounter, and then so on and so forth. It's actually pretty awesome though when you think about it, because unlike how you would normally do raid battles, you don't get an extra encounter for, completing them, whereas this event, you actually do. And what's even better about all of that is I think for the first time ever, you can actually repeat this timed research multiple times. I'm pretty confident they've never done this in the past. You would think that when Scopely transitioned to taking over Pokemon Go, the monetization aspect of this game would just be much worse, but honestly speaking here, it seems like it's gotten a lot better. Niantic never gave us anything like this in the past. Now I do also want to mention for anybody who's about to say like, I can't get this research done because I don't have anybody in my local area. Well, first of all, you get one free orange raid pass to use every single day, and you can host the raids through PokeGenie if you don't have any locals around you. So at the end of the day, there's really no excuse to not get this done throughout the week. I mean, if you don't really care that much for the legendary raid boss, that's perfectly fine. But when you have one that's actually interesting, and there's definitely some on this list that are going to be pretty good to focus on, you can go out and just focus on that raid boss, complete the research as many times as you want, and then boom, you got a bunch of free legendaries. Now, unfortunately, you cannot get the new special backgrounds from these encounters and the timed research. Those are going to be raid exclusive. We're going to spend some time going over all the featured legendary Pokemon along with their meta relevance later on in the video, so if you guys do want to skip ahead to that section right now, just use the timestamps down below. Next up though, I want to talk about the paid timed research available for $8. So if you guys have been struggling to get yourself a Galarian bird, this paid timed research is going to guarantee you an encounter with at least one of them. Now I personally don't think this is worth it, but I think it really plays into the FOMO aspect for many players. Most of the Galarian birds aren't actually meta relevant for anything. The only one that actually is good is going to be Galarian Moltres in PvP. It's going to be in the top 60 for the Open Great League and the top 10 for the Open Ultra League. And if you get it from a timed research, I'm pretty sure the IV floor is going to be 10-10-10, so it wouldn't exactly be optimal in those metas. But given that Galarian birds are some of the rarest Pokemon to encounter in the game, and you can only get them from the Daily Adventure Incense, and their catch rate is terrible, I can understand why some players would probably want to get this. Now following that, let's talk about the Go Pass that's going to be featured during this event specifically. This will go until June 29th, so that's going to be the end of Pokemon Go Fest over the weekend. So first of all, let's go over the rewards for the free version of the Go Pass. You're going to get a random encounter with either Regirock, Regice, Registeel, Regieleki, or Regidrago, with a special background. So unlike the timed research that you guys can complete as many times as you want to for free encounters, this is actually going to guarantee you a special background that you can only get from raid battles. I think that's pretty cool, and the fact that it's going to be a random encounter adds a fun element to it, in my opinion. Now, on top of that, we're also going to get encounters with Costume Pikachu. These are going to be exclusive Costume Pikachu. I don't know if these were featured during the in-person event. They may have been, or they might just be exclusive to the global version. If anybody can actually let me know in the comment section down below, that would be appreciated. And then finally, on top of all of that, we're going to get Stardust, Experience, Pokeballs, Candy, etc. Just because that's kind of how the GO Pass works. You get a bunch of random cool stuff. Now, I do also want to mention that the free version of the GO Pass is not going to give you any additional bonuses, unlike the GO Pass Deluxe. So let's talk about that right now. So the GO Pass Deluxe is going to cost $20, and then you're going to get these bonuses at these various ranks. So at rank 1, you're going to get 1/2 hatch distance. At rank 10, you're going to get 1 additional orange raid pass to use every single day. At rank 20, you're going to get 2 times hatch candy. At rank 30, you're going to get 1 additional extra large candy from raid battles. At rank 40, you're going to get 2 times hatch stardust. At rank 50, you're going to get 3 additional candy from raid battles. At rank 60, you're going to get 2 times hatch experience. And then finally, at rank 70, you're going to get 1.5 times raid experience. And then when it comes down to the rewards, you're going to get a gold bottle cap, a Zacian and Zamazenta mask, along with premium items, which could be like incense, lucky eggs, incubators, lure modules, etc. Now, keep in mind, you can always upgrade to this version of the pass if you decide to change your mind before June 29th at 6 p.m. But if you guys really want to maximize the bonuses, you should get this as early as possible. Now, additionally, the gold bottle cap is also going to expire on July 6th, so make sure to decide what you want to use it on sooner rather than later. And if you guys actually need help with this, I'd recommend checking out this video right here, which goes over the top 20 best Pokemon you guys can use them on. So with that being said, that pretty much covers the GO Pass and the GO Pass Deluxe. If you guys have any questions on that stuff, just let me know in the comment section down below. Now let's talk about the legendary raid pool and which Pokemon are going to be featured and their meta relevance. So we kind of already know that all the Reggies are going to be featured during this event, and specifically on the 23rd, which is going to be a Monday, we're going to have Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. Now, additionally, on top of the Reggies being featured, we're also going to get them with their signature movesets. We're going to have Earthquake on Regirock, Thunder on Regice, and then Zap Cannon on Registeel. I do also want to mention that if you guys want to build these for PvP, you do need to ideally mirror trade them with somebody else for a lower attack IV spread with high defense and high stamina. When trading with the best friend, you're going to be looking for something along the lines of 5-15-15. Now, in terms of meta relevance, Registeel is probably the most desirable Pokemon of these three. In the Open Ultra League, it's going to be ranked in the top 30 right now, and it's also pretty good to use in the Open Great League. I think is in the top 100. Regirock is going to be the second best, ranking in the top 60 for the Open Ultra League, and then there's going to be Regice, which ranks in the top 150 for the Open Ultra League. I think if you're interested in PvP and you don't have access to these Pokemon just yet, I would definitely go out and get a few of these done. But if you don't really care that much about PvP and you already have their shiny forms, you can definitely skip this part of the event. Next up on Tuesday the 24th, we're going to have Regieleki, which is going to get access to its signature moveset Thunder Cage. This is going to be a new addition, didn't have access to this moveset before, and what's super cool about it is that it's going to make Regieleki the #1 electric-type attacker in the game, even above Shadow Raikou. You heard me right, guys. I never thought I'd say this, especially with a Reggie, but yeah, Regieleki is going to be the GOAT pretty soon. I don't think I could have ever predicted Regieleki becoming this meta-relevant, but yeah, you're definitely going to want to raid really hard for this one specifically. It's actually really funny because a few weeks ago, Count Jinsula made a video saying to skip this event or you would regret it, and I feel like this is something you definitely don't want to do because Regieleki is going to be amazing. So yeah, don't skip this event. Definitely go out there and raid this one if you can. Next up on Wednesday the 25th, we're going to get access to Regidrago, which is going to get 2 signature movesets, Dragon Breath and Dragon Energy. This, in my opinion, is going to be a great combo moveset, so I do expect it to get a nice buff in the PvP meta. As far as the raid meta goes, it's like a decent dragon-type attacker to have, but you have so many better options out there. Now, once again, as soon as the rankings are updated on PvPoke, I'll make sure to update the pinned comment down below so you guys can get the most up-to-date information. Next up on Thursday the 26th, we're going to get access to Regigigas, which already had a Shadow Raid Day very recently, so I feel like if you actually cared about this Pokemon, you went out to raid that during that event. It's not super useful outside of being a fun generalist attacker, and ideally you would want the Shadow for that, not the regular variant. I guess if you happen to miss a shiny, you can go out and do a few of these, but I really wouldn't recommend it. And then finally, on the 27th, which is going to be a Friday, we're going to get access to every single one of the Reggies available in raid battles, so if you wanted an extra day to raid any of them, this is going to be your chance to do so. Now, following that, we're also going to have raid hours taking place every day from 6 to 7 p.m. local time with the following Pokemon featured. We already went over them, so you guys already know the dates, but just once again, on the 23rd, we're going to get access to Regirock, Regice, and Registeel, 24th Regieleki, 25th Regidrago, 26th Regigigas, and then finally on the 27th, all the Reggies. So basically when it comes down to all these Reggies, most of them are actually skippable, right? Because, I mean, we've had Regirock, Regice, and Registeel a million times in raid battles. We just had a raid day for Regigigas. But Regidrago and Regieleki, I think, are going to be the top 2 hunts from this event. Those two have a lot of potential for the future. Now additionally, we're also going to have Mega Beedrill available in Mega Rays throughout the entire event. This is going to be the second best poison type Mega in the game behind Mega Gengar. It also has a dual type beat of Bug and Poison, which is pretty good for candy bonuses. Now before we dive into the GMAX Pokemon, they're also going to be featured during this event because we're going to have GMAX Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon all coming back. Let's quickly talk about the Spotlight Hour taking place on the 24th, which is going to be Tuesday. This is going to feature the Pokemon Growlithe with the special bonus 2x Evolve experience. Overall, with all the Pokemon that we're going to get access to during Go Fest, nothing to really pay attention to with Growlithe, but hopefully you guys did take my advice during the Phantom Ruins event for Phantump, because now you can go through and evolve all of them and then transfer them right after to make more space for Go Fest during this upcoming weekend. If you want to maximize your luck, I'd recommend about 70 evolutions and a search tag along with any friendship level ups during this time as well. We do get 1.5 times experience on friendship bonuses right now thanks to the June Go Pass bonuses if you guys made it past the first rank, which I'm assuming most of you did by now. So yeah, this is going to be a great time to really maximize your experience, clear out some Pokemon storage, and all around, yeah, just get it done. Now let's talk about Gigantamax Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon. So I guess I can start things off by saying that GMAX Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon are all going to be the best of their own respective typings. So GMAX Rillaboom is going to be the best grass type as a GMAX, Cinderace best fire type, and Inteleon best water type. These are going to be better than Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise respectively, but the biggest downside is that you can't actually get them shiny during this event, so I can totally understand why some players might not be that interested to go out and get these done, but if you actually have a local community that is going to be doing these, I do recommend it, just because the Stardust and experience is so freaking good. Before we take a look at the best counters for these GMAX Pokemon, I want to quickly go over the best tank, which is going to be Dynamax Blissey with Pound. There is not a better Pokemon out there than Blissey when it comes down to defending and for healing. This thing is the GOAT, hands down. Now let's talk about the best attackers for GMAX Rillaboom. So first of all, we have GMAX Cinderace with Tackle, we have GMAX Charizard with Dragon Breath, that's going to be a legacy moveset. We have GMAX Lapras with Psywave, and then GMAX Gengar with Shadow Claw. Now, as far as why I'm recommending these movesets and they're not, based on stab, that is because you want to focus on a 0.5 second fast move to charge up the max meter as fast as possible. Don't throw any charge moves, and then when you go into the Dynamax phase, all of your GMAX Pokemon are going to have a set GMAX moveset, so even though you're going to be using Tackle on Cinderace or Dragon Breath on Charizard, when they go into their GMAX forms, they're going to use a Fire-type moveset every single time. Now with that being said, this is not applicable for regular Dynamax Pokemon. Their Dynamax moveset is based on their fast move. So for example, Dynamax Charizard needs to have Fire Spin. But hopefully at this point you guys are not investing your resources into regular Dynamax Pokemon too often. The GMAX Pokemon are always going to be preferred because they just do more damage. But if you don't happen to have these GMAX Pokemon, you can go with Charizard with Fire Spin just in its regular Dynamax form, Moltres with Fire Spin, Entei with Fire Spin, or Articuno with Frost Breath. Next up, let's take a look at the best counters for GMAX Cinderace. So as far as the best attackers go, we have GMAX Kingler with Metal Claw or Mudshot. Mudshot is going to be a legacy fast move, so I wouldn't really recommend using an Elite TM to get this because Metal Claw is going to get the job done. You also have GMAX Inteleon with Water Gun, a GMAX Blastoise with Water Gun, and then GMAX Gengar with Shadow Claw. You can also use Dynamax Excadrill with Mudshot as well. And then finally, when it comes down to GMAX Inteleon, the best attackers are going to be GMAX Venusaur with Vine Whip, GMAX Rillaboom with Scratch, GMAX Toxtricity with Spark, regular Dynamax Raikou with Thundershock, and Dynamax Zapdos with Charge Beam or Thundershock. Thundershock is going to be a 0.5 second fast move, so that is preferred, but if you don't want to use an Elite Fast TM, Charge Beam is going to be fine. For all of your counters, I'd recommend powering them up to at least level 30 and then upgrading the max moves from there. That's the correct order of operations. Now, I also want to go over the recommended party size, right? Because many of you guys out there are probably going to be using remote raid passes for these. And we've talked about this in the past few videos over this month, so it might be a little bit of redundant information, but for anybody who just kind of missed any of that, this is going to be really important stuff, so listen up. So when it comes down to these in-person GMAX raids, you will get your MP back if your group ends up failing. But if you're going to be using remote raid passes, you'll still get your MP back, but you will not get your remote raid pass back. So for this reason, I'd recommend at least 20 plus trainers in your lobbies, just due to the uncertainty of your teammates' Pokemon. You can definitely take down these GMAX Pokemon with less than 10 trainers with proper counters, but you have no idea how many unprepared trainers are going to get lobbied together with you using an app like Pokegenie, for example. Keep in mind that a lot of players are going to jump out of the lobby if they consider it too small. So if you really want to play things safe, you could aim for lobbies with like at least 30 plus players to decrease the chance of this happening. But again, it's all kind of subjective here. I think 30 plus trainers is really safe, 20 plus is more than enough to get the job done. But overall, you kind of just have to play it by ear. And of course, with that being said, I do strongly encourage you guys to get these done in person opposed to remote raiding them, but I also understand not everybody has access to a local community, so do the best that you can. Now, a few more helpful tips I want to go over really quick. If you guys are struggling to actually catch these GMAX Pokemon, and you have the adventure effect for White Kurim, this will increase your catch rate by 1.5 times and slow down the target ring. Now, following that, I think the most important tip I have for you guys is that if you actually have a solid group of trainers together and you're going to be doing like at least 2 to 3 of these within like a 30-minute time period, it would be a great idea to drop a star piece. The base amount of Stardust you get from GMAX raids is 25,000, so with a star piece, that's 37.5 thousand. And if you're a spend to win player and you double this with the 200 Pokecoins in the reward screen, this becomes 75,000 Stardust. The Stardust gains you can get from these GMAX raids, guys, is insane. Otherwise, that pretty much covers everything I feel like you need to know to make the most out of this event. Best of luck out there, hopefully you get some shinies, and if you do need help managing your Pokemon storage before Goat Fest, then check out this video next.